Okay, next segment is geography. Now the illusion is the film shows a number of modern signs bearing the names of ancient locations. In addition to the names, the narration tells us that various mountains and rivers correspond to descriptions in the Bible. At this point, the film cuts to an expert witness, William E. Wilson, an erstwhile archaeologist who is described inaccurately as a Latter-day Saint, says there is no map showing Book of Mormon lands because they can't place it on Earth. They don't know where it is. Following this comment, the film cuts to pictures of maps of Book of Mormon lands, clearly none of which is a real-world map. Now, the unmasking of this illusion is the most favorable reading of this section has the makers of the film concentrating on the lack of an official declaration on the location of the Book of Mormon lands. While the church clearly has no official position, that doesn't mean that they don't know where it is. John E. Clark, who is both a Latter-day Saint and a frequently cited Mesoamerican archaeologist, notes in his article on geography for the Encyclopedia of Mormonism, many scholars currently see northern, Central America, and southern Mexico, Mesoamerica, as the most likely location of the Book of Mormon lands. However, such views are private and do not represent an official position of the Church. A statement of location that appears in the Encyclopedia of Mormonism may not be an official position, as Clark notes, but it certainly indicates at least a favorable consideration of the position. The statement is strong enough that the film should have addressed it explicitly. Wilson and others imply that Latter-day Saint scholars don't know where it is. Unless Wilson is oblivious of LDS scholarship, which would make him a poor expert, it is an intentional misstatement. Wilson's statement is even more interesting because he performs a mind-reading trick, announcing reason for the church's lack of an official statement, when no explanation has been given. Since direct evidence contradicts Wilson's assertion about the identification of a probable location for the Book of Mormon events, we simply cannot believe his mind-reading trick either. Nevertheless, in spite of the lack of explicit interaction with Latter-day Saint scholarship, the film's editors appear to be aware of at least its general outlines, for they spent a good deal of time filming in Mesoamerica. The only reason for selecting that area of the world, the very area that Clark identified as the place where the many Latter-day Saint scholars locate the Book of Mormon, would be to respond to the scholarship they pretend does not exist. The illusionists attempt to combat a position that they do not admit actually exists. The illusion is stronger because they make it appear that there is no contradictory information even when they know there is. Murphy also claims that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints takes no official position on the geography of the Book of Mormon. One of the reasons for this is obvious. It is that the events never took place anywhere. Half of the statement is true. When Murphy notes that there is no official geography, he is on firm ground. But when he gives a reason, he is attempting the same mind-reading technique Wilson used earlier. How good is this inventive answer? Okay. The most generous reading is that it's Murphy's version of sleight of hand, stating that the church does not know where the Book of Mormon took place, but may be a way to read the fact of official neutrality on the topic, but it distorts the scholarly picture by suggesting that there is no known location. Latter-day Saint scholars have been homing in on Mesoamerica for over 150 years. Certainly, the last 30 to 40 years have been significant refinement of this position. As noted earlier, Murphy certainly knows this, though throughout the film he avoids the relevant scholarship. John L. Sorensen has presented the best arguments for placing the Book of Mormon in the real world. He was circulating a correlation of the Book of Mormon to specific geography in the 1970s. For various reasons, this information was first published by David Palmer in 1981. In 1984, Sorensen published information in the Ensign about his correlation of the Book of Mormon to real-world geography, along with some of the implications of setting the text in that area of the world. Sorensen published his book Length Correlation of the Book of Mormon to a specific geography in ancient America setting for the Book of Mormon in 1985. Sorensen's geography identifies the spatial relationship according to the text of the Book of Mormon and then compares them to specific features of Mesoamerica. He locates valleys, lakes, rivers, and hills, just as the film indicates has been done for the Bible. The only reason that the Book of Mormon appears incomparable to the Bible in geography is that the producers have not shared Sorensen's information with the viewers. As with any illusion, the important thing is not what you see, but what you are not allowed to see. Is it possible that the authors of the film were simply unaware of the major focus of Latter-day Saint scholarly work on Book of Mormon geography for the last 30 years? It stretches one's credulity to believe that, particularly since the film spends so much time discussing Mesoamerica and uses Murphy, who has written about this geographic position, as an expert witness, and since the cover of Sorensen's book is actually displayed in one of the film's collages. Ignorance did not keep this information from the viewers, but rather a choice made by the film's producers. Who decided to keep the best information from the audience? One would suspect that if the producers had a good answer to geographical issues, they would have made it part of the film. Since such an acknowledgement is entirely absent, one must suppose that they really have no answer and consequently prefer to pretend that one does not exist.